Hey everybody, what's up? It's Chelsea Texera, the host of Up to Date. Today I am so excited to have my good friend and beautiful model, Nicole Elise, on the show. She is a beauty vlogger and an influencer, and today we are talking about traveling, the craziest trip that we've been on together, and dating do's and don'ts of Instagram. So please tune in, like, subscribe, and as always, stay up to date.
I love you like la 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 la. I love you like la 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 la. I love you like la 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 la. I love you like la 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 la.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Up to Date. I'm your host, Chelsea Texera, and today we have another one of my beautiful friends on today. Nicole Elise is her name. She is a model, a beauty vlogger, and an influencer, and I am so excited to have you in the studio. Nicole, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Chelsea.
Yes,
I haven't seen
Nicole.
you in a hot minute.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's cool down with a little sip of that. But a hot minute indeed. It has been a couple of years.
I know.
But since this is a travel show, it is worth mentioning that we have actually traveled a really amazing place in the world together.
Yeah, we have. It goes way back. I
Goes way
think.
back.
Well,
So yeah, why don't you tell everybody how we know each other?
so we met each other through, well, specifically mutual friends, but you are really good friends with my daughter's father, which is how I was really introduced to you. And like the second we met, I feel like we just hit it off so well. And like,
You know when somebody's soul, just you
you
click.
just get along, and we just hung out so much, I feel like. And it was just really nice to be surrounded by so many like great people on his side, because being like a young mom, it gets pretty kind of isolated, a little lonely, and you guys were so welcoming, and like, the
Yay.
situation was not like, yeah, it was just amazing. So I was
Good.
glad I got to meet you, and you've been awesome.
Me too. As we know, the universe works in amazing, mysterious ways.
I know, it's so true.
Yes. So we know each other from our mutual friend slash her daughter's father, and love him. Great dad. She is such an amazing mom, and so I
Thanks.
have loved watching your journey through motherhood. And when we first met, one of my absolutely favorite stories that I have ever heard is how you found out that you were pregnant.
Yeah. So this is a crazy story. I actually did a video on my YouTube channel because I guess it's like a thing where on YouTube, like people talk about like how they found out they were pregnant. So I was asked to do that video. And when I really thought about it, I was like, this is such a strange way to find
I
out.
loved it.
It's the craziest thing. So basically my mom called me. It was like during finals, I was really stressed out, and I like never really, I feel like when you're just like young, you don't really like, at least I didn't really track my period like a normal human, I guess.
I did for sure.
I never did. And plus I always had like a really irregular flow. Sorry if that's a little TMI, but it was
It's
just
my show. You talk about your flow, girl.
Yeah. So I just had like, my mom called me one day and she was like, she sounded so hesitant. And she was like, hey, Nicole, like literally like like a creep. I don't know. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay. She was like, hey, Nicole, is there something you need to tell me? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, woman? Like, she lived in Singapore at the time. So I'm in San Diego. She's in Singapore, and she's calling me, and I'm like, what? No. I was like, I'm in finals. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm studying right now.
You haven't
She goes-
failed anything yet. Come
I was
on.
like, geez, like, what do you know? And my
Yeah.
mom's just like, she checks in on me sometimes, but the way she was approaching it, I could just sense something was like weird. And she goes, I just left a reading. And I was like, reading what? What the fuck? And she was like, I left a psychic. So he's a Nepalese psychic. He travels the world, and he always, a lot of his clients are in Singapore. So he is like booked like a year in advance. So she had this reading right before this, which is crazy to me. And she walked out of that meeting and she calls me because she was like, that psychic told me that you were going to have a child. And I was like,
You're like,
I was
one
like,
day.
no, I was like, absolutely not. So then she's like, no, really, like go check and go to the store and go check. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I get the test and I call her back because I'm like, Mom, it's not a big deal. It's like fine. She's like, pee on the fucking stick. I pee on the stick. I go into the room and I leave the stick out on the toilet and like face down, give it, it's like 3 minutes or whatever. And I go back in and I'm on the phone with my mom and I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Oh my God.
I was like, are you kidding me? I had no idea how she knew. And I was like, are you like, I didn't feel anything. I like those symptoms that everyone was saying. I was like, this is not normal. Like this is a false positive. Like there's no way. It came with like 3 pregnancy tests. So I peed on all of them. I was just peeing on sticks and they all came out positive. And then I finally went and it was like the lines. So I wanted to go back to the store and get the one that said like spelt it out for me. Like, bitch, you're pregnant. Bitch, you're not pregnant. And I was like, yeah. So I did it and I was pregnant and I was like, this is crazy. And my mom was like, he's the most amazing psychic in the entire world. And everything he's ever said to her, like, I mean, it was a horrible thing, but he had mentioned like someone was going to pass really soon, like during that reading, and like her brother had passed like 6 months later. It was so weird how that stuff aligns. And
so crazy.
Yeah, and that's how I found out. I don't know when I would have ever found out.
How far along were you when that happened?
I was like, I want to say I was like 6 weeks.
Okay, so
I was like a couple months in, and I had no idea. I just thought,
symptoms?
And then I looked at the calendar, and I remember thinking prior to that, I was like, I haven't got my period yet. But I was thinking, I'm just stressed because I've been stressed in finals and stuff that I would just delay my period.
And stress does delay your period.
It does, right?
Yeah, lots of different things can affect it, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, no biggie, it's going to be fine. And then find out.
Things were not fine.
But yeah, the first time I guess I missed my period, and that was Aliyah.
Well, so at least it turned out to be an amazing story because Aliyah is the most beautiful baby. So cute. She literally is a perfect combination of you and Ryan.
I know. She looks more like Ryan, though.
She does look a lot.
And I'm not mad about it. It's not like he's an ugly dude.
No, he's definitely not. We'll give him that. Damn it, Ryan.
Yeah.
But she got your pretty color. So.
Yeah, she's so angelic. She's so relaxed. I definitely think she definitely channels a lot of her dad's characteristics in the sense that she's super laid back. And then she can be a little sassy, which I feel like might be from moi.
Maybe.
But I think a girl should have a little sass.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking from the sassiest of the sass, don't you feel like it's important?
Sass queen in the building. That's for sure. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Yummy.
So that is an amazing story. I remember that. Like, that was one of the things that stuck out in my mind when we first met. I'm like, this is so crazy. And I also am very in tune. I've gone to a couple of different psychic readings, which we'll probably talk about in other shows, but I have been.
I love those.
I do too. I've been blown away. I've gone to 3 different psychics, and each one of them have said things that have totally come true, but they all have kind of different styles. So have you yourself gone to that guy?
No, I haven't. So when my mom started seeing him, I was already in the US, and he didn't really travel to the US. He traveled to like Europe and Asia mainly. But I would love to but he like reads your palm and stuff. So it's like a whole thing where he needs to be in person. I couldn't just Zoom.
I recently in quarantine did a Zoom psychic,
Really?
and it actually was really good. It was one of the most emotional ones. I don't know if it's because what was going on with me, probably so, but it was still good. But I think I do probably prefer an in-person one.
I actually did do one on Zoom recently.
I watched that you posted about it.
Yeah, it was so fascinating. And she told me I was going to have another girl.
Anytime
And I was
soon?
like, no. She just said they're saying my angels.
The angels.
She was
they
like,
always
she didn't
hollered.
say it specifically, but she was like, though they're telling me that you're gonna have another girl, and I was like so happy because I prefer to have another girl because if I can have another girl like Aliyah, it'd be amazing.
Well, exactly, and I feel like either sex you would rock, but I think you'd be a girl mom. You're like
I'm a girl mom.
You're a princess. You're like a fabulous, like you said, sassy princess.
Yeah.
We need more of those.
Yeah, but if I do have a boy, I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'll be fine.
Of course.
I feel like you'd be a girl mom too.
I think I would be a girl mom. I know. I want boys too, though.
You do?
Yeah. All my psychics have said 3 kids, and it is boy, girl, boy. So.
Ooh.
I know. I was like a little sandwich.
You're gonna run that house.
Oh, of course.
You're gonna run that house.
You already know. But my babies are gonna be hilarious. They're gonna have facial expression game on point.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited, but not anytime soon because I have a lot more of the world to see, and I know you do too. And so so also one fun fact is that Aliyah was born in Singapore.
Oh yeah, so she was born because I was because I was young when I got pregnant, so I was still under my dad's
Insurance.
healthcare. insurance, but because I'm a dual citizen, my insurance actually covered maternal in Singapore than it did in the US because my dad's insurance, I guess, didn't cover maternal. Um,
So were you born there as well?
so I was born in Singapore too. So I wanted to go back. My parents lived in Singapore anyway, so I wanted to just be with them at the time. And Ryan came and visited here and there, but he had to like work here and stuff.
Right.
So we just like made it work. And I knew I'd be more comfortable being home with my family. But I saved us a lot of money having her over there because the healthcare system
Thanks, Mama.
seems to work a little bit better, but it's just a little bit more, it was more affordable. It would have cost us a lot of money to have her here.
And it's like honestly just a really cool story. So she's probably has dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got both. So that's nice, which she can appreciate one day whenever we get to go back, which I would love to go anytime soon.
I know. Whenever we get to travel.
I know.
Okay, so speaking of travel, like I mentioned in the beginning, a
Mhm.
couple years ago, Nicole and I actually had the pleasure of going to Hawaii together. So
Mhm.
Nicole's family is from Singapore, and Ryan's is actually from Hawaii.
Mhm.
So 13 of us, like all of our friends, we
Yeah.
all took a trip out to Kona, which is where he's from,
Mhm.
and had an amazing trip. We went on this waterfall hike. It was like the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
Nicole is amazing and crazy and did this with Alaya on her hip.
Yeah.
We waded through water up to our freaking chonies. We were
Yeah.
just like climbing. I remember I lost like one of our girlfriends lost part of a toenail. But we made it. We made it to the waterfall, and then on the way back, we saw people trekking that way towards the waterfall. We're like, you're not going to make it back before dark. It was
It's scary to be out there at dark. Like there's certain parts of Hawaii, if you're taking those like journeys in, you got to go at like a specific time. Otherwise it gets freaky.
and it's rainy there too. So I remember our
Mhm.
drive up there was not super chill either because it was muddy and we were trying to like make our way up the hills. We were in, luckily since Ryan's local and then a lot of his friends were too, like they had a handle on it, but it was anxiety
For all
ridden
of
for
us.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were like, and then mosquitoes, all that. There's a lot of things to brave in the Hawaiian wilderness, but
Yeah,
it is
it's-
beautiful and worth it.
It was so worth it. And I like love that you guys were so cool about us bringing Alaya everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like it was so nice just being able to like do things that we wanted to do with each other and like not having to worry about like, there's a little bit, you guys just knew like we came with the package.
Yeah.
Like, we got the whole crew and it was just so fun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that hike was wild.
And then on the way back, do you remember we had to cut through and there was this dude came out with like a shotgun because we were like
Oh my God, we were on his property. That's right.
We're
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
"Well, we come in peace, bro.
Yeah, like,
our
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was super intense.
It was fun though.
It
We had
was.
so much fun together. You guys stayed at Ryan's place and I like kind of enjoyed, even though it was like a super full house, it was always fun. Like I love being able to do that with you guys.
Yeah, especially like we're all such good friends. Like it was
Mhm.
just fun. We're all like, all right, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
It was never a dull moment, that's for sure. So Kona was cool. But as far as Hawaiian Islands, it wouldn't be my first pick. It was so
Mhm.
much fun because we once again like had all of our friends there and it was a good time. We even stayed at I think the Hilton for part of the time or
Yeah.
um
It was beautiful.
It
That
was
hotel was
beautiful.
stunning. That was like the most luxurious part of the entire thing. It was like
it was yeah, like honestly there was such like a beginning, middle, and an end of our trip because we stayed in this Airbnb that was cool. There was like a ton of rooms, there was a big pool and stuff, but it wasn't very aesthetic. Like I'm sorry if you're dropping like a G on an Airbnb a night.
Was that how much it was?
It was yeah, I think so. And then one of our friends who played football, he was like, oh, I'll get there, I'll get in there, and he's the one who bought it. But the pool had like clear glass around it, but it had stickers all over it. Do you remember? It wasn't very aesthetic. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm gonna be renting an Airbnb, I want to be able to take videos without any kind of
Wait, they had stickers on the windows of the pool?
like okay, so like okay, when you didn't stay there with us, maybe you came and visited.
We stayed one night, I think, but I was not in the best mood, so yeah.
Okay, well,
might not have seen you guys.
no, right, no, exactly. I think, yeah, you definitely came over there, but no, so surrounding the pool, like coming out from the house, it was beautiful and you could see the ocean beyond, but down where the pool was, but like up above coming off of the
Mhm.
balcony,
Mhm.
it was covered in it said like no diving stickers.
Oh, like the safety stickers. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
ugly as hell. I know.
So ugly, so not aesthetic. So that just like killed my vibe. But so we stayed there for a few days. It was nice though. It was a lot of space, all
Yeah.
that. We woke up early one morning and we went fishing.
Did I go fishing? I did not.
Did you not?
No, because I don't do well on the sea.
Oh, okay. Little seasick sister
No, I
over
don't.
here. Well, so we went fishing. It was really fun. Not gonna lie, the boys obviously fished most of the time, but
Mhm.
so there's fun stuff like that in Kona. However, I am more of a Hawaiian chill out princess, aka Maui,
Mhm.
even Waikiki. But Kona, it was super rocky.
Yeah,
So like if you want to
very
lay on
rocky.
yeah, if you want to lay on the beach, it's just not as fun of a time. Even getting out to where there is some sand, it's
Yeah.
just like it's a trek. You
It's a
gotta-
trek to get to the sandy places. And we did do that, I feel like. But I definitely feel like you guys should have explored more of the islands because, and I think it was just like convenient. Like
Yeah.
we were all there,
Yeah.
you guys came. It was just a more like, it was like a friend experience. Have you been to any of the other islands?
Oh yeah, I've been to Maui like
Oh,
6,
okay.
7 times.
Okay, so you've experienced it.
Waikiki.
Okay,
I still really
that's
want to
good.
go to Kauai, but yeah, Kona is
Yeah.
one that like I was a one and done.
Yeah, you don't have to go there too many times.
probably
I just
not.
went there all the time because
Because-
Ryan's family and yeah, Elia loves it there. And it's like home. It's like a second home for her.
Well, yeah, and if you're from there, it's a totally different thing, and that's why it was cool.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, oh, my homie's from here, like we'll go check it out.
Mhm.
But so the trip was great. We had a good time being with all of our friends. But then one of my craziest travel stories, and actually one of Nicole's as well, we were talking about this,
Yeah.
was our journey home.
The fucking airplane of doomsday. It was, we were gonna die.
We literally, Nicole, I was rubbing Nicole's back. Nicole is breathing in and out of the barf bags, which she actually ended up utilizing.
Yeah, happily. I was barfing up a storm. Are you kidding?
So Hawaii can get windy. Sometimes it's like, super perfect weather, but like anywhere it can get a little turbulent and not so temperate. So on our flight home, we all actually had kind of split up. Like there were so many of us that some of us had one flight here, one
Mhm.
flight there, but we had a direct flight into San Diego, which I'm a direct flight.
Me too. Direct
Fairy.
all the
Let's
way.
go.
I am not stopping in Seattle. I am not stopping
No.
anywhere. Take me there.
Because
That's how
I
go.
always have trauma
Yeah.
with my carry-on liquids is also my thing where I like to avoid it because I have had to throw away so many good little like sample products or even just like mini size things because
Mhm.
every different airport has different stipulations for what's acceptable and I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. So either pay to check a bag or no, you're going to have to throw shit away. But so anyway, so we had a direct flight. So we were stoked
Mhm.
on it. It was me, you, and one of our friends, Kyle. And we were supposed to fly directly into San Diego.
Was it Alyssa not on that flight?
No, but Liz, she flew into LA and she was gonna have to.
She took a different flight.
She took a different flight and she
Okay.
was gonna either I think take like a bus or take another flight to San Diego,
Mhm.
but because the turbulence was so bad that day, so we get on this plane and all of a sudden like like your stomach drops on a roller coaster but on a plane. Can you imagine? Like I've never felt turbulence like that ever. It was just like whoo, like we dipped and we're all like, oh my God. And then it was just like eerily quiet. And then like everyone's like waiting. And then it was just like, whoo, whoo, like dip. And then people started screaming, Nicole included.
My heart is racing now that you're bringing that
I
back.
know.
I pushed that down so far. I like put it in a box up there.
It was terrifying for like, we were both sitting there praying to God. We were, Kyle was, I think, behind us, but you and I were sitting together and we were just like, we cried. Like we were
crying. I was saying every prayer. I was like, Jesus, I know I haven't been to church in a long time, but I swear to God, when I get home, just get me home.
sign me up for
safely.
that Sunday sermon.
I did not care. I was genuinely like, Chelsea, when I tell you I've never experienced something like
Oh,
that
I
in my entire life, I was like, where is the Bible? Does somebody have a Bible? I don't know what to do. It was horrible. It was
super
horrible.
surreal.
It was like a hurricane. We were like going into
a hurricane.
a fucking cyclone. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what was happening, but we were all pissed. And we had to fly into LA.
So we were supposed to fly into San Diego, but so the first hour, the turbulence was like that. And finally, they didn't even do the drink service. And we all know that that's like what we all look forward to. We're like, okay, come by, like, load me up. But they literally came over the intercom. They're like, it is not safe for our flight attendants to move about
Oh, no
the cabin.
shit.
Yeah, really. And so, but then finally, when the turbulence subsided, they came by and they were giving everyone free alcohol. They were like,
It was like Oprah. I was like, one for you, one for you.
yeah.
You get one. You get cheap. You get this, blah, blah, blah.
you get a shot, you get a drink,
Yeah,
you get
everyone
one.
get whatever you want.
And one of the flight attendants, I remember she said in 20 years of being a flight attendant, she had never felt turbulence that terrible.
no.
So finally things like calmed down. We, relaxed as much as we could. And then all of a sudden we're like, shouldn't we be landing? And they had to circle over San Diego, but the fog was so bad and they were running out of fuel that they said we were going to have to land you guys in LA. So not only was this a nightmare, we had to go to LA and we were supposed to be bussed back to San Diego, in which Nicole came to the rescue, and we
Yeah.
were like, let's get a
Yeah, mind you, I had to
Uber.
be up at like 7 in the morning, and it was already like pushing 1,
It was
and we
so
were
late.
in LA, and I had a call time at 7, and I was like, there is no way we are making this. And then one of the people from my team called and was like, just get an Uber, we'll pay for it. Just get to San
I
Diego
think
now.
We went and got Wendy's. They took
Yeah,
us
they
home.
stopped. They were super cool, but
Yep.
it was definitely the worst experience of my life. I never got refunded. Thank you so much. Was it Alaska? I'm calling them out. What
Alaska. They gave us a $50 voucher.
For my soul to be sucked out was $50 worth? I don't think so.
I know. Let's get at least triple that. Alaska.
Yeah, so that was the
now you know.
flight from hell that I don't think I've been to Hawaii since.
I am gonna say that I haven't either. That was traumatic to say the least.
And
yes.
I don't ever want to experience that ever again. It was horrible.
No. So even though that wasn't one of our favorite places, it was a mostly fun-filled place that we've gone to together. So that is awesome to share. Okay, so why don't you tell me about your 3 favorite places, my love?
Okay, so obviously I have to pick home. Singapore is like number 1 favorite place on the earth because I'm biased.
I had a layover there when we were going from Thailand to Bali, and the airport was exquisite, but we didn't get to like go out there, so it's still definitely on my list. So I'd love to hear.
But the airport is like significantly like a really big like monumental thing for Singapore because they spent so much money building that airport.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
It's like
you see pictures of it, you're like, wow.
How is that an airport? It looks like a botanical garden
Yeah.
or like something wild. Yeah, it's just crazy. But
well, Southeast Asia is so lush and
lots of greenery.
Yes.
We're really So Singapore, born and raised there, and then I would say Bali, obviously, because we traveled there all the time. It was the only way we could leave Singapore. And it was it's like 2-hour flight. So I was just growing up going there, doing a lot of like community service work over there too. And then I would have to say like one of the best things America ever did was create New Orleans. It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite places to go. If I ever get married, my bachelorette will be in New Orleans.
Fun.
It has it's just such great culture. The music is just my vibe. I love
good
it.
vibes.
A good jazz club, just all of it. The food, everything is so good. But all those places, they're just so different. But I just love all 3 of those places. I can't pick between the 3 of them.
Okay. So tell me some tips about Singapore, because I'm sure a lot of people that I have talked to, even on the show, that have been to like Bali and Thailand, haven't really heard anybody talk about Singapore, because I feel like it's maybe like a little more one-off / probably a little more expensive, or
it's a little bit more expensive to travel to. You definitely have to stay and they have Airbnbs there. But I would definitely suggest hotels if you do stay there. And everyone always gets really confused about Singapore because they're like, okay, like what's the native language? What do they speak there? I'm like, they speak English. And that's like the main thing that always people ask me. They're like, okay, so you were born and raised in Singapore. How the hell do you sound like you grew up in the valley of LA? Like what's happening? I went to an American school, but everyone everyone speaks English, which so people don't have to worry about
the language barrier.
Yeah, any of that. It's totally fine. But I would say like my tips for there is definitely try to indulge in the local quiz. Like, yes, the local foods, of course, but like go to spots like there are some like amazing, luxurious, like beautiful places that are like, that like one pool that everyone goes to that looks over the water.
Gosh,
it's up high.
Insane, yes.
So that's Marina Bay Sands. It's one of like our staple places that people go to. And just they're such an innovative country. Like they're so ahead of our world and just it's amazing. But yeah, I would just try to indulge in more so like the local style of eating. They have these places called hawker centers, which are like kind of like almost like a giant food court, but it's all individually. It's hard to explain, but it's a great place to start when it comes to the food if you really want to indulge in local stuff.
A hawker center, okay.
Yeah. So, and then with like Bali, obviously, I would say, I mean, you've been to Bali.
Yeah.
So like, Bali. Like don't drink the water. Like
I got Bali belly. So I don't think I've actually talked about it on any of the shows, but it's worth mentioning because I'm a super careful person.
You gotta be careful.
And I'm super clean. So the last episode, which is hilarious, tune in, is that I like wear flip-flops in hotel rooms. I don't, like to walk barefoot unless it's like a really nice place. But for sure in Thailand and Bali, I brought charcoal pills with me. So when you do any research on visiting countries like that, like charcoal pills will help base out your stomach. So in case like there was a bug or anything to get in there, it's supposed to just like kind of help deter that. Well, so I was even brushing my teeth with bottled water. I was super careful. And the whole time, and I was eating street food, but being careful, eating charcoal pills, all that. But then when we got to Bali, and then my girlfriend who I was with, she was not doing that at all. And I was like upset because I ended up getting sick. So yeah, so I brushed my teeth with bottled water. We're in Bali. We stayed at this beautiful Airbnb. Every morning they'd bring us this like yummy breakfast. And so the only thing I can think of though is also that, so okay, that morning we had like fresh fruit and this like fruit juice. And I'm like, okay, this is probably fine. But when we were on our way to the airport, so we get to the airport in Bali, and I finally, so I'm an iced coffee queen. I feel like you are too. You're a
Yeah, I like iced coffee.
and you like I always see you post it and it makes me laugh and always makes me think of you because oat milk.
Oh yeah, I love oat milk.
I
I'm a psycho when it comes to oat milk. Oh my gosh,
I've seen so many stories of Nicole talking about oat milk, and I'm like, I need to fucking milk an oat.
You
like,
haven't?
No.
You don't need to milk the oat.
I know.
It's a whole process, but you can go to the store and buy oat milk.
No,
Try
I know.
Oatly.
I know, I'm joking. Oatly, okay. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
There was this comedian I watched the other night, and he was like, he's like, milk should only be something with a tit. Like, he's like, well, America is the only place. He was like British. He was talking about.
Yeah.
So, I will try oat milk. But, so anyway, so I finally get nice coffee because I'd been drinking like tea or just like wasn't satisfied with my morning beverages for the whole trip, but I was satisfied with my trip, obviously. So a small price to pay. So I get to the airport, and I heard that if you drink ice at the airport anywhere, it's fine because ice at the airport is filtered. It's like circle ice. You can tell if it's filtered kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, okay.
Was it?
No. I got an iced coffee, and Pringles was my choice of cuisine before our flight. And so we had a flight from Bali to Beijing, and then we were supposed to go to the Great Wall. Like, we had like a long enough layover that we were gonna go to the Great Wall, come back in time, and I'm like, cool, we'll sleep on the plane. Well, so as we're flying, I was just like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, my stomach does not feel right.
Oh,
it does not feel right.
Here it goes.
But like the thing was, I couldn't like, I don't know, I couldn't eat, I couldn't like anything like that, whatever.
Yeah.
And then finally we get to Beijing, and we ended up getting a refund, thank God, on our trip to go to the Great Wall. And they have overnight hotel kind of things you can buy per the hour. And as soon as we got into the hotel, that's when my like stomach was like, oh my God, hell no. But it was miserable when I got back into the States. So the whole entire flight, I did not eat one time because I felt so sick. I literally, and in China, you can't use your internet because they have internet control. So I was like calling my mom and my Nana, telling them I was going to die. I was having dreams, like, because I finally was like trying to get myself to sleep while we were waiting for our flight. I had dreams that I was going to die because I could just feel like a demon in my stomach.
Right.
It was awful. So I got home, and basically they said, yeah, you got some sort of bug. Went to, urgent care, and I did a IV to refill my fluids because I hadn't been like eating or drinking anything. So definitely my tip for Bali is enjoy all of the fruits of the beautiful country, but make sure you are not drinking the water.
Ice. Yeah.
Don't drink the ice. So I thought I was in the clear, literally, like I made it through almost a month trip, not getting sick and being so careful. And then the last minute, I had to let my guard down.
You slipped.
I slipped.
You slipped. Yeah. So
I slipped.
You got to be careful, because I know plenty of people that have either had that experience, or one of my friends actually got salmonella poisoning, like not salmonella poisoning, but like literally salmonella. And it was like really, actually my brother's girlfriend, it was terrifying. It was the scariest thing to like watch. She ended up eating something, obviously, that had not been cleaned properly, and just the bacteria was still there, and it sat in her stomach, and it just really, it was horrible. And we had to call we were in Ubud, so we were like way in the country, and so someone had to drive. Yeah, so like it's deep in there, and it's far from like where like a hospital would be. So we had to like call to have like a doctor come out, and they had to like, these like injections were like,
oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't see what an epidural was like when I got it, but if there was a needle that looked like it was probably that salmonella like reject thing. I don't know what it was, but they just had to like pump her with like all sorts of stuff. And she was going, it's so weird. We were leaving to the airport when that happened. So we had to delay the flights and like all that. So just stay the fuck away from the ice on the water.
Ice, yeah.
Do not mess with it. It is no joke. It'll really kill you.
I was sick for 6 days when I came home, like literally eating crackers and Gatorade. And
it's horrible.
Yeah, it was not a good time. It was awful.
Yeah, but other than that, like, do your thing. in
Other than
Bali.
that, do your thing, eat the food, all that, but make sure that you're researching like seriously charcoal pills. I cannot recommend enough. I even
Yeah.
got some electrolyte tabs to put in my water to make sure that I was getting, nutrients and all that too.
Staying
But
hydrated. Yeah.
yeah, but so just be extra careful. Don't ice it up.
Yeah. No, it's like the worst. Has anyone ever asked you what your 3 favorite places to visit are?
No, they haven't. I really appreciate you asking and throwing it back.
Sorry, I just wanted to know.
No, I love that. Actually, we've had a couple people be like, when I listen to the show, I want to hear more about you. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Wow, I'm not prepared. No, I'd say my 3 favorite places are definitely Greece. So number
yeah.
one. So we went
Mhm.
to Santorini, Mykonos, and Athens. I would love to go back to Mykonos and give it another shot because so beautiful. Even like the little. Have you been to Greece?
No, I have not been to
Okay.
Greece. That is one place, but my parents love it. They've gone so many times. But yeah,
You're like jealous, but
I am.
But honestly, we went on my first Europe trip. That was our last stop. We stayed there for a week with a bunch of the girls, and it was really fun. But Santorini is the most beautiful number 1 place ever. I will get married there, or at least have
Oh.
my honeymoon or something. It's like a place I would totally go back a billion times. I also really love Budapest.
Oh, I have not been there. Wait, so tell me, what do you like about it?
It was so amazing. So it was one of the places I went on my first solo trip to. So I went to Rome and then straight to Budapest.
Uh-huh.
Had a little bit of trauma because not on my account, but the last day I was supposed to go to the Colosseum, but I was so hungover that I didn't make it. So,
Oh.
but I got to, the most important thing is not to miss a flight, right? Because
Yeah.
the cool thing about Europe, like inner European travel, is flights are so cheap. So actually I had got a like $40 flight from Rome to Budapest with not Ryanair, what is it? Wow, or something like that. I forget the airline, but
Okay.
they ended up having to pay for their mistakes. But so I get to the airport, I'm like miserable. And it's like an hour delayed. And then all of a sudden it's like Wizz Air. Wizz Air. You guys are so cute. Their airline is purple. I love purple shit. But it was literally, it was a fucking nightmare. So I always try to find a positive, and the only positive thing about that experience was that I got my own hotel room that night. And the whole trip I had stayed in like hostels. So I was like, okay, this is nice to have my own space and be able to be naked in my room and not.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so the flight was delayed an hour, and then it was a bunch of Hungarian people. So I had so many Hungarian people come up and talk to me like, and I'm like, whoa, no, like this is not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But so they had to. They let us stay in these hotels for free. We got free dinner and breakfast, and then they flew us the next day. It was fine, but it was one of those situations too. They had loaded us on the plane, and then we're all sitting there for like an hour, and it's getting hot as fuck. And because it's hot in Rome.
Yeah.
It was even in October, but it was really hot. So everyone's like, I was literally using the front thing to like fan myself. And then finally they're like, there's like an engine failure. We're going to need to get you guys off. So we're all like, okay, thank God they didn't just try this one time to see. But then the next morning when we all get bused back to the airport and we're trying to fly out again, they're having the same kind of issues. And everyone's pissed. So, cause if there's certain rules, but if it's longer than 3 or 4 hour delay, they have to reimburse you for the flight or / like give you some sort of credit.
Something. Is that like a global rule, or is that just with that airline?
I'm pretty sure with European travel, because I like looked a lot into it, but I ended up getting Wizz Air had to pay each and every one of us $350. So the only cool thing was that my flight was $40, but I got paid $350. But then I missed a whole day in Budapest. So Budapest was my favorite, and I will absolutely go back, or my second favorite, and I'd absolutely go back because I didn't get to do, I'm sure you've seen the thermal baths.
Yeah, of course. Who
Okay.
hasn't seen those?
I know.
right?
So that was my plan, like that, like first day. And so I didn't get to do that, but I did so many other amazing things. It's just beautiful. Like, I don't know. I got to my hostel. Everyone in my hostel was cool too, which helps.
I have a question about hostels.
Yeah.
So I've never stayed in a hostel.
Okay.
And I used to have like some weird stigma about hostels.
Okay.
Are they like not freaky?
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
I don't know.
So the weird stigma about hostels obviously comes from probably the fucking craziest movies ever.
Yeah, that's I think that's why I had this weird thing in my head. I'm like, I'm not staying in a hostel. I'm not, what the fuck?
Well,
But so many people do it.
they do. Well, so because I'll say this, you and I, like, we are pretty princesses. Like, most people would probably be like, this bitch is staying at a hostel. I'll say this, I was the flyest thing running.
No, I'm
in
not
the
saying
hostel.
I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying like what I do I need to stay in a hostel? I've never done it. Like am I wasting my money?
Well, so so definitely as a money saver, the only reason I recommend hostels and I want to take away the stigma of the hostel thing is because when I decided to go on my solo trip, I was like looking at, hotel rooms and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, hell no. If I'm going to be gone because when I go to Europe, I like to go for at least 2 to 3 weeks. If I'm flying for 12 to 14 hours,
Yeah.
let's make it worth our while, folks. Like,
Totally.
let's be down on the ground for a minute.
Yeah.
And I actually love to fly, but like my dad, for example, he will load up on, sleeping pills or whatever to like Xanax, make sure he's out.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Like I like to fly, but once again, I'd rather have more ground time to enjoy. But so hostels, I just started really researching. Hostel World is like my favorite way to look up hostels, or I'll even look up different little bloggers and
That's
be like,
good to know.
yeah. And so
It's really good to know.
there are some freaky people, obviously anywhere you go, but that's
Mhm.
just like traveling. But what I
Yeah.
liked about hostels is actually I felt safer. I think the stigma we should talk about is taken.
Yeah.
Because even like they were staying at a family residence and somebody snatched their ass up because nobody was there to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
So hostels, there's always somebody at the front, literally morning, noon, and night, because the people who work at the hostels are people who are also travelers and they want to have a cheap, free way to get to travel. And a lot of them hop from. I actually was at hostel one in Budapest, and then when I went to Notting Hill in London, I stayed at a hostel. And one of the
okay.
girls was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. I worked at the one in Budapest." So they hop around and travel
Oh,
because
interesting. I did not know this. See, I need to know this stuff. I need
so,
to know.
exactly. Well, here I am for you, love. So
I'm learning so much. I need to take notes.
well, we have it on.
I'm gonna rewatch it on YouTube.
We got you. But so yeah, so I loved hostels because it was cheap. It was literally like the one in Budapest I stayed at was $10 US dollars a night.
What?
So yeah, it was 10 USD a night. So I didn't mind that I missed a night and got to stay in a nice hotel. But so I did get to miss out on some of the like other fun things I would have done. But I honestly, it was a place that they have really great public transportation, as we know, like in a lot of places in Europe. But I walked everywhere because it was so pretty. There is the chain bridge, which is like the really famous like lion. There's opposing like stone lions on each side of the bridge.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Okay, yeah.
Parliament at night was one of the most majestic things I've ever seen. It was absolutely gorgeous. There's actually a lot of Holocaust history in Budapest as well.
Interesting. I
Yes.
love like learning that stuff. I love history. I'm such a history junkie like that.
I do too. So yeah,
I
they had a
really
lot
do.
of that. Then they have like a whole Jewish quarter, and one of my favorites, actually the most beautiful cafe in the world. I posted a couple pictures. It is like gold and this beautiful like burgundy color, and it is so extravagant and exquisite. So that was a highlight. But yeah, so Budapest is absolutely amazing. There's so many cool things to see, ton of beautiful churches, really nice people, great food. Can't say enough good things about it. So I would definitely go back since my trip was cut short. It's just like I think every place gives you a different feeling.
Totally.
And the feeling I felt there was just like no other. And
Good vibes.
Good vibes. So yeah, I would totally go back. And then once again, my hostel was fun. Like the first night I partied with, because so every night, the cool thing about hostels is that you want to meet people.
Yeah.
So even if you go alone, you're not alone because like, oh, I could be if I wanted to, right? Like during the day, I just got up and went out and did whatever. But at night, they're like, hey, you're coming to do drinking games tonight, right?
Oh, so like you become friendly with all these people,
if
and
you
then
want
you start
to.
hanging out with. Okay, yeah, cool. Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, because like in London,
Shoot.
I was like had my own little thing going on. It was like my last 3 days of the trip, and so I made friends with my little like roommate guy, but I like was doing my thing, and they invite, oh, you're gonna come to the pub crawl tonight, and I was like, no, I had other plans, did other stuff. I like took myself to go see a Broadway show and like things like that. But so in Budapest, I did do one of the bar crawl nights, and we went to they have like Simpla Kurt was one of them. They have a bunch of different like cool ruin bars, which is like where they're eclectic and crazy as fuck, but they're just like super cool, a billion different themed room bars. Like there was this one I posted
So
on my
fun.
story that people are sitting in bathtubs smoking hookahs, and there's like Mad Hatter rabbits and like crazy pianos and log seats and all these. Yeah, it's just like the craziest thing ever, but it's cool and everyone's just chilling. It's just good vibes, street food everywhere. It's an experience. That's why like traveling is so cool to me, because it's like we would never see that here, like
No, you wouldn't.
there's cool stuff here too, but this is like a whole different ball game. Okay, yeah. So Budapest, so Santorini, Budapest, and number 3 is Scotland.
Wow, really?
I didn't think so either. I didn't think it was gonna be either. It was the sickest, like it was so much fun. I was absolutely in love. I went in I went in March. So actually that was like right before I came back for the coronavirus thing. But I went for 4 days by myself. I also stayed in a hostel. I was in a room with, so you said like, what's the stigma? The smelliest old dude. And I literally like was like, oh hell no. So I went up to the front one day and I was there for like probably 6 hours. I took a nap because I was like jet lagged. Went up to the front. I'm like, what is this? Like,
I
because
don't, yeah, I
you
don't.
you can do girl only rooms, but sometimes they're more expensive. Or some hostels that don't have that at all. They only have like mixed dorms, which I've never had any weird things happen to me in a room. I'll say that. And actually in Budapest, my dorm room, it was a 6-person dorm room. It was 5 other dudes and me.
Oh, that's
It was lovely. Yeah, it was a little
Hey.
it was a little stinky, but they appreciated me. I
Okay, that's good.
juiced it up. But the first guy I met in there was from the U.S. and the other 2 were from Argentina, and we all like hit it. Like once you make a connection like that, they all want to have your back. I never felt creeped on
Okay,
or like
that's
anything
good.
like that. So yeah, it was good. But in Scotland, I had this weird like smelly fat British guy, and I was like, this is not gonna be working.
Yeah, I don't fuck with smell.
No,
like if you
smell.
stink, I cannot. I will not. Everything smells. Your clothes will smell. You will smell.
And he was like, I felt like he'd already been in the room for a few days, so he was enveloping the aura. So I literally, I'd only been there for a few hours. I went down. I'm like, what can we do about this? And he turned the computer around for me and showed that guy was gonna be that he'd been there for 3 days, was gonna be there for 7 more. And I also asked, I'm like, do you guys have an age limit? Because some hostels, when you book them, they do have an age limit, which I appreciate. I don't really want to be staying with a 6-year-old
Yeah,
old
maybe-
fart,
yeah,
like
yeah.
literally. That's weird. Like, what are you doing? Get a hotel room,
Mhm.
so anyway, he's like, actually, we have a room that is nobody's in there if you'd like to go. And I'm like,
So
we could have started with that. So, but he did transfer me over, and so then the rest of my trip was amazing. I got to like sleep as much as I wanted. That hostel was cool. That had like curtains on the bed, so. Every
so you had
hostel's different.
privacy. That's nice.
Every hostel's different. That
You
one
just
was
never
cool.
know, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe I just haven't traveled. Like, but you did this by yourself.
I did it by myself, but once again, I did it. My first ever hostel was in actually Barcelona with the girls, but my first solo hostel was in Rome, and I had a really great time, and that was a girls only one. So I think that was a good like
Oh, that's
first
cool.
timer.
I like Barcelona too.
Yeah,
That's a great spot.
I loved Barcelona. Yeah,
I love Barcelona. That's a good one.
so it was great. And so yeah, for Scotland, I stayed in Edinburgh, and I'm Scottish, so I just felt really like. As I walked around the place, and I woke up at like 3 in the morning one day and just started getting ready and got up and out by the time sunrise was coming up. People were like, coffee shops were opening at 5, and they're like, oh, you're American, like they want to chat with you. And I just took myself on like my own little guided tour. I'm a good planner, so I was like, oh, like looked at Harry Potter was written there, and they have like a whole little like Harry Potter walk you can do. Went through this crazy cemetery, which was like the most beautiful cemetery I've ever seen. They have really cool cemeteries there. I know it sounds weird, but it's very they're just like beautiful and historic and cultural to me. So
Interesting.
yeah, I didn't feel like haunted walking through them. I felt like dope. I'm like, this
Do you
is
have?
so cool.
I have this like weird thing whenever I travel, like to foreign countries, and people have like accents. I start to like pick up on it. It's like this weird tick that I have where it's like I don't want to sound American, so I'm gonna try. I'll be like bonjour,
Bonjour.
Like I'll really try to like pull the acting out of me and be like bonjour, like really like try to like be a part of it because I just don't want to like. But it's like this weird tick I have. Like if I'm around someone who has this accent, like I have this Russian neighbor I just met,
Oh no.
and I find myself being like. Just starting to like speak Russian, like not speaking Russian, but like I'll talk like I'll just start talking English, but with a Russian accent. I'm like, what is happening? Do you like?
I
it's
know,
the
I know
weirdest
exactly what you're
experience
talking
I've
about.
ever
Okay,
had.
here's a good example. Love my mom to death. When we used to go eat at like Chinese restaurants, she'd like try to like talk. I feel like oh like fried rice. I'm like stop.
Okay, no,
Stop. Okay, but
no, that's different.
Okay, but anyway, so I think I've cured her of that because I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah,
and
we can't do that.
Completely politically incorrect. So you got to back that up and dunk it. But I'll say this: I sometimes catch myself. I say like I have things with a kind of a British inflection sometimes. I'll be like,
Oh yeah,
I say, are they?
we should like do a podcast episode where we're just speaking like this the entire time.
It sounded almost a little Australian. You're pretty good at
Did
that.
it?
Yes.
Oh well, I did date an Australian back in
Oh,
the day.
Did you? What a
time
lucky
ago.
bloke.
What a lucky bloke. I know. And then I was catfished by an Australian too, so that was nice.
Oh, we will transition to that later, sister. Because
yeah.
I have some things to say. So, but yeah, so finishing up, basically Edinburgh was so beautiful. It is, Ireland and Scotland are very like rainy countries, but the 4 days I was there, it did not rain at all. It was fabulous.
That's
And
nice.
even I had met somebody there like, oh, you must have brought the California sunshine with you because it was absolutely gorgeous. It was still cold, don't get me wrong. Like literally I had gloves, beanie, scarf, but like
Yeah.
was really cute. Like, you know, obviously I cuted it up, but yeah, it was so fun. A lot of history.
Love
There's
that.
dudes playing bagpipes and wearing kilts. They don't wear anything under their kilts.
Did you see any balls?
Didn't see any balls. Actually, and so I went on this one tour, and the lady was like, "It is sexual harassment to lift up a man's kilt." I'm like, "Who does this? This has obviously happened."
Obviously. Who the fuck?
They're like, but like to me, it was so funny that they made a point to talk about male, like sexual harassment against males,
You
and
think
not
people actually lift that skirt
Yeah.
up?
yeah. Because okay, so while I was there, I spoke about that I actually used Hinge, and I met like there are so many hot Scotsmen, hot Scots, baby. So
Really?
yeah, and this one guy I'll never forget. I did not meet up with him, but he's like, the rumors are true. I'm like, excuse me. He's like, we don't wear underwear under our kilts, and I was like, all right, Mister. Like I thought it was funny, and I laughed, but no. Then when she like reiterated it, our tour guide, she's like, yeah, no, they don't. So it's basically like sexual harassment. You can
Yeah, for sure. If someone lifted up our skirt, sexual harassment.
but like how? Of course,
I would not lift a man's
you get
skirt.
knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah.
Well,
Wouldn't you knock someone out?
Oh yeah, I'd be like, what the hell? Yeah,
Oh,
or get
punch you in
somebody
the
to do
face.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But other than that, so maybe it was just a fun fantasy. But
That's so weird that people do that.
I know it's so strange
That they have
So
to be
strange.
like, just FYI, don't lift a man's kilt up because you will be it's illegal.
Because
to do that.
you will see a penis and you will also see a punch in your face. Perhaps
That's so weird.
super weird.
Interesting. Okay,
Super
well,
weird.
noted. Don't lift kilts.
Noted, don't do it. Also, the Queen, so the British family has a residence in Edinburgh. It's like beautiful. It's called the Holyrood Castle.
Ooh.
Yes, they have.
We love a royal queen.
We do. So I actually went there like right before they were closing, and I got like a picture just me in front of the castle. I felt so cool. Have another really cool cemetery in front of there too. I'm such a freak. But then like I love walking around them. But then of course somebody walked by and I like screamed. They're like, "Oh, I didn't mean to scare you," but like. I don't get scared walking around them, but you know, it's just kind of like eerie and fun. I'm a weirdo, but I liked it. So, really good hike to Arthur's Seat. I did like a day trip, and we went to. Have you seen the Da Vinci Code?
Yes, I have.
So the beautiful church that's in there, that
Yeah.
like where all the secrets are buried. I went there.
It's there?
Yes, it's in Scotland. They wouldn't let you take pictures. I like snuck a couple, but there's
Yeah.
literally people inside because it's such a holy. The carvings inside this church are so insane, and they're so just like intricate, and I'm like, who could have ever done this? But yeah, it's
So they don't want people seeing it. They would rather.
I mean, so
I don't understand.
it's holy. I don't know how to describe it.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think if I've ever been into like a cathedral where they're like, don't take
They let you take pictures outside of it, but inside they were like, please do not take
Oh, okay.
pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, and maybe it's just like preserves also that like so people can come see it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Probably.
it's, like you know, novelty of it. But yeah, so it was so great. I had the best time. So yeah, those are my top 3. Thank you. That's
You know, I like to. Sorry, I just took over the moderation. It's all on you.
No,
it's
no,
all on you. But I
no,
want to know. It's
seriously.
just like I don't think I've ever asked you that.
well, now we know. Thank you, my love. Cheers.
Cheers. Sorry, I'm just sipping. I was listening to you and I was like, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna sip and
Mhm.
listen.
Love that. Okay, so you mentioned a catfish. So
Oh my god. Yeah.
why don't you tell me about your thoughts on this? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah. Okay, so several years ago, I was working. I work in LA a lot, and I met this like I like did it was like a DM thing.
Okay,
It was like
you
a
did a DM.
thing. No. He slid in my DM.
Hey, nothing wrong with like woman power. I was just
And
wondering.
he was an actor. He's not my actor, but he's a different
Okay,
actor.
okay.
This was way before, long time before even before I had Alaya. And so he slid into my DMs. I cannot call it out. I was like, maybe I should say who it is. I can't say it. I can't
Okay.
fucking say it.
Oh, it's somebody we'd know.
Do you watch like historical movie like TV shows?
Maybe I love
Like The Crown and like
yeah.
Versailles and like
Okay, I'm having a vision. Okay,
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But anyway, so his Instagram was so I was like, oh my god, okay, cool. Yeah, like cool, let's meet up. So we met, like I remember I met him in downtown at this like bar, and I rolled up and I was looking for the dude.
Uh-huh.
Could not find him.
Oh, no.
Could not find him.
Oh, no.
So I'm like looking. And by the way, like his Instagram, it was like verified. It was him. I think it was him. And like all the pictures, I was like, and he's a hunk in the show.
Okay.
He's like a fucking hunk. So I was like, all right, great. Is that even a cute word to say?
Hunk?
Hunk?
I haven't heard hunk in a while, but I get it.
Oh
like,
my
as
God,
soon
I'm
as you
such
said
an
hunk.
old soul.
It's me too, babe. But as soon as you said hunk, I pictured, like, I think I exactly know. If I'm right, I'm going to be.
Like he's just a babe in the show. In like a historical, like, royalty back in the day, like babe. Like
Okay.
if you can pull it off, then you can pull it off.
we all like a man in uniform. So
anyway, I went up and met up with him, and literally he like some guy walks up to me and he's like yay tall, like
no.
shorter than me.
Oh.
Shorter than me.
How tall are you then?
By the way, I like Googled his ass to make sure like how tall he was because I was like, we're not doing like shorter than me.
Yeah.
We just doesn't
it
happen.
needs to be at least or
Yeah, and I was like young at the time, so I was like, it was just like whatever. And he like this like little munchkin rolls up, and I'm in heels, so he's like even shorter.
Oh, no.
Like I'm 5'8".
You're tall, yeah. So
like I was in heels, and I'm thinking like on this is whatever. And so he rolls up, and he's like, I don't know how tall he was. He was probably like 5'6", and I was in heels.
Okay.
It's not very. It's fucking short.
I'm 5'6". Yeah.
It's short. Okay. And so, and he was like, hey, Nicole. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my God.
What'd you do?
He looked. So I guess like for his role, he got like really buff and like got like super fit. And then like my fucking ass back in the day, my luck was like so bad that like, I guess he rolled up, had lost so much weight, literally muscles gone. He was like a deflated macho blow up doll.
Oh,
like
no.
it was just like so scrawny, skinny. He was completely not that I have nothing against you, do you, boo, but I'm just saying you do not look like how you do
Represent
on
yourself.
social
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
Okay. So that's like my first thing. And so like he just starts talking, and I was like, I'm in LA. I like literally just got off a job, and I was genuinely like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing here? And I did not know how to like shake him off and like leave. I was like, I felt so bad. I was in such a weird position. He was like talking to me. He was like rambling on about his like ex-girlfriend or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I need to go. I need to go so bad. And yeah, it was terrible. And I remember he like walked me to my car, and I don't know. I like pulled some like weird excuse, and I was like,
we gotta have an emergency contact.
I don't know we need like a one-liner for like guys when they're like walking us to our car or like to our Uber and you're not into it. Like, what do you do? Because I was literally just like, I just like ran.
You just left?
I just started running.
She ran.
I just started running. I didn't know.
Did he run after you?
No, I was just like, oh my God, I got it. I was like, I have to go. And I was like, I ran. I stayed for like an hour.
Okay.
And I just ran, and then I still have him blocked on Instagram because I was like, you are not.
Did he ever reach out?
No, he did, and I just blocked him.
Yeah, it's like also like guys get the vibes. Like you should have probably already known, sir. But so
He
that's
just didn't look like how he looked. He was nice or whatever. It's just not for me, and it just like was not for.
I know that's unfortunate. So as you know, we talk about it's never nice to ghost somebody, but like you need to. I would have just been upfront, maybe like you aren't. This isn't.
I know
really
I should have
like,
but I was
sad.
young too, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, never again. And then
We live, we
Yeah.
learn. That is traumatic. I don't think I've ever been catfished. I have been hatfished.
What the fuck is that?
It's where a guy wears a hat and they look fine as fuck in a hat, right? You're like, daddy.
Yeah, what?
Like, no, seriously. Like, I love,
Like-
if you look good in a hat, like, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is a good vibe. But then you start to notice if somebody
Wears a
only
hat all
wears
the
a
time?
hat.
Why did you
You're
say
like,
that?
all right. And then you take the hat off, and it's either like a 6 head or like a, listen, I'm going to say this right now, here and now. Being bald is beautiful. It can be, but you have to own it.
You do.
Like, honestly, I, like, this is weird to say, but whatever. Like, my dad is bald as shit, and he's a handsome man. Own it.
Yeah, just own
Literally.
it. Yeah.
Own it. And
I
it's like,
agree.
I get that, you know, like women, we have lots of things that we can do to enhance our appearance. So we should give men some grace. But yeah, being hatfish is not cool. Like, let's
It's
do
very
that.
true. There's a lot of men out there that wear hats, and like they take their hats off, and then it's just like another person.
Yeah, and especially like, I'm sorry, if we were going on a date, you're taking me to a nice place, your bitch ass is not wearing a fucking Houston Rockets hat or something, bitch. So
Yeah.
like,
Isn't that weird how a hat can do that?
it literally can transform
Yeah.
the you're like, whoa, like I'm trying to get in
It's
there. And then you're
weird.
like, oh my God, check. So yeah. That's happened to me and some friends several times. So that is the new term that I'm coining is hatfished.
Yeah, I would say first date guys don't wear hats.
Don't wear hats
Don't
first
wear
dates.
hats.
Or even but like on which I am not on any right now, but like dating apps, if they're only wearing a hat the whole time, you're like, you gotta be like, but that's so rude. Send me a picture without your hat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once again,
Yeah.
I think the stigma just needs to be taken away. Like, own it. But I've even seen like some famous people who this one guy, he's so freaking cute, but he's like, I'm coming out that like I'm losing my hair, and he tried to do like
Aw.
hair transplants and stuff. So we need to be sensitive to it, but also it's just like, let's just be who the hell we are. Like,
Mhm.
say about it.
Have you ever met anybody on Instagram?
I have
Like went on a date?
Yes, actually. So this one guy, he was so sweet. He DM'd me and it was great. It was actually to nothing about like, it wasn't like a selfie or anything. I posted something
Mhm.
inspirational or whatever. And he was like, I love your spirit. He messaged me, said, I love your spirit. I really love your vibe. Like, I would love to meet you.
Oh, you love that.
I was
You
like,
love that
what?
shit.
'Cause
Spirit?
Your spirit. Well, yeah. Like, it's okay. When I did my last psychic,
Yeah.
the first thing she said, she goes, the angels are wanting me to call you spirit. And I was like,
You are a spirit.
"Bitch."
You
I'm
really
like,
are.
Thank you. I love
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So I feel the same way too. And it's like, you know, I want to touch other people's lives like with my spirit. So to
Mhm.
hear that from somebody else without me having to say like, I want to touch you with my spirit. They're like, oh, like, I love your spirit. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And he was like this little surfer boy. So I need a balance of surfer boy and not that, because he was almost too like, I'm
sorry.
Like, he was so nice. But so we dated for like a month, and then he was super, you know, into me, and I liked
Mhm.
him too, but it just didn't work out. But so that was like a good, because so slide in the DMs, boys. Like, we're here for it, but have
It's
something
normal.
good. Have something good to say, something respectful or something insightful.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, and my biggest pet peeve, hey.
What is that? Like, I don't really go through like my
no time
like
for hey.
requested DMs,
No.
but like I'll see some like weird shit sometimes. But I always feel like the haze, it's like, hi. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Hey.
I'd rather, yeah.
We're not going to get anywhere. I don't have enough
No, we're
hours
not. No,
in
no,
the
no, no,
day
no. Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
through a conversation that starts with hey.
Hey, no, we're
Let's-
not doing that.
No, listen, I have way too much personality to have to deal with that bullshit.
No, you definitely should not deal with that. I
No.
agree. 'Cause that's too much, I think.
Yeah. So, and what about you? So, wait, that guy you said slid in your DMs?
Yeah, so
yeah.
I did that, but I never gave up on that. I still like believe in
Yeah.
it. I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything wrong. Like, what's the difference between like dating on like an app, like being on Bumble or something?
Yeah.
Like, I never judge people. It's like a modern way of dating. It's not
Totally.
weird at all. Like, anyone thinks it's weird, you're fucking weird.
Once again, don't be afraid to shoot your shot. That's how
Mm-hmm.
in life, in business, in relationships, and
Confidence,
anything.
baby.
Confidence.
Let me see it.
Put yourself out there, and if it doesn't work out, that's okay, but at least you tried. Like, I'm a person that I always want to be true to myself and at least know that I put everything out there that I could. And if somebody can't receive that, that's okay. It's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not about me, you know, and
Yeah,
vice
but can I
versa.
just say that you're definitely one of the, like, when I think of confidence in people, you're one of like the people that I think of, because you're just like unapologetically yourself all the time. And you're like you don't care. Like, you're just like, and I always say you have these one-liners that are just so fucking epic. You're like hysterical. Sorry, I'm just like blowing smoke up your ass, but literally, like, the confidence,
Smoke
it's
me up,
important
baby, I love
though.
you.
Like,
Yeah.
people love like confidence, and like in a man, in a woman, it's just like, hey,
Hey,
that's like the least confident type conversation starter in the entire fucking world. Like,
it's irritating.
delete.
It's delete, exactly. No, but thank you so much. You're so sweet. But yeah, no, I do feel that I am confident. Do I feel that way all the time? No, but like most of the time, yeah. So like, we're all gonna have our bad days.
But you're yourself. You don't like try to pretend to be anybody else, which
No.
is really important.
I'm never gonna if I'm hurt, I'm gonna let you know I'm hurt. I'm never gonna just try to like be something for anybody else. Like, I'm
Mhm.
authentically myself, and I
Yeah.
want that in people I surround myself with, my, you know, significant others, partners, all that.
Mhm.
So one thing we talked about today that I want to throw in here is a boo posting balance. So you, since you are a influencer, you constantly
Mhm.
have to post your beautiful self and all these cool things like products.
Yeah.
So what do you feel? And I know that if it's okay to say, you are in a relationship.
Yeah. That's okay.
So, what, and I know that we talked about like you love to keep that private, which I super respect because
Mhm.
there's nothing worse. And I think boys, girls, all of us can attest to seeing somebody who is like a serial new relationshipper and just like constantly posting their new boo. And
All
you're
the
like, wait,
time.
this is a new thing. You were
Mhm.
with some other John last week. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say, okay, well, first of all, if your thing is to share your boo all the time, like, do you? But for me personally, I think I've learned through the hard way is like sometimes not sharing everything is okay too. Like, you need to draw boundaries. I think I was in a position a couple years ago where I pretty much let everything out and it hurt my relationship in a really bad way. And I
Mhm.
just don't ever want to, you live and you learn. And so for me now, I learn just to really balance what to post. And even like with my daughter, I don't really like she's on my Instagram and like part of my Instagram is like business too. So I have to like figure out, okay, like this is like I'm putting out the things that people like to see, quote unquote my brand. I fucking hate saying that, but like it's like your thing. Like that's
Mhm.
these are the things that you have to do for these jobs and it's basically just a reel of like pictures of whatever you want, like in terms of like your brand. I need to find a different term, but I just don't like that.
No, right.
But in terms of like a boo, I think like just acknowledging that you are in a relationship isn't a bad thing.
Mhm.
I mean, I slide it in there sometimes in my stories just because stories go away in 24 hours, which a lot of the time, like, yeah, you'll see it's a blessing and a curse. But at the same time, like even with my kid, I have her in my stories. She's sometimes in my feed, but like very rarely do you see her.
Yeah.
But because I like to let people know like I'm a mom and stuff, but with being in a relationship, I think at least posting on stories or whether if it's not that, just I don't know. It depends. It really depends on the person. If you're someone, because I know people who are influencers and their job is to post with their boo too. Like
Mhm.
it's like they're a partnership. They do these things. So I don't know. I also think it's the timeline of the relationship too. Like y'all are just dating. Like maybe we don't need to be posting that 24/7. But like when you're ready, maybe share it. I mean, I'm not about making rules for people, but I think people should do what they think. I just have learned to just be a little bit more private about that stuff. And I like it that way.
Yeah, no, I think privacy is key, honestly, especially like social media world. It's a avenue for viewers, right? People want to see
Hmm.
what's going on in your life, and so ultimately you get to pick and choose that.
Yeah.
So if you're selective with the people you date, you should also be selective with what you put out there.
Hmm.
For me, I know that it takes me like I don't ever I definitely like am dating, right? But you are not going to know that because unless
Yeah.
it's going to be something that's serious or that I see a future with it, you will never see me post a solid pic. Like you said, a story, like, if it's
Yeah.
been a couple months and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this, you'll for sure probably see a story. But like if you see an actual post, like sound the fucking alarm because this
The
is like,
girl is posting.
yeah, it's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
That being said, so I think that there are kind of some not rules, but there should be just thoughts going around that in a relationship, right? Because I dated this guy for a while who never posted me. This was years ago when I was young,
Weird.
and it super bothered me, and so that was kind of a deal breaker for me. I'm like, and he didn't have Instagram, but like it was like almost a Facebook thing, and I'm like,
Hmm.
how come And he's just like, oh, I just don't really post. But no, that bothered me because I think that once you do get to that point, like you said, like I want somebody who is like proud and wants to show that off as I think
Hmm.
anybody would want that, right? Like
Yeah.
especially if you are a like a beautiful girl like you or I and we are always posting stuff and dudes are always in our DMs. I'm sure that on the flip side our man is going to be like, well, I'd like to, at a certain point, of
Yeah.
course there shouldn't be a push like, oh, like, post me, especially if it's early,
Yeah.
but it is respectful and just like kind and considerate to like throw something out there every once in a while, like, oh hey, this is
Yeah.
my person. Because I've also had where I've like posted somebody and then shit goes awry and you're getting archived. Like
Wait, why? It's like a problem if you post them? Like they make it a big deal? Is that what you
if I
mean?
if I post them, no. Basically the example I'm saying is that I was dating this guy and I finally like I waited to post. We'd
Hmm.
gone on like a big trip together. Then I was like, okay, cool. And then I posted us, and then a couple weeks later, literally shit hit the fan, and I'm
Oh, it
sorry.
didn't work out.
Yeah, and so but
Okay.
that's getting archived. So that brings me
Yeah.
so that will bring me to my next point of boys, girls, everyone alike. I honestly don't know any girls that keep pictures of their exes. Dudes, delete pictures of your fucking ex-girlfriends. There is no reason.
Yeah, agreed.
If it is over and done with, and it should be. So I had this guy actually like hit on me last week. We exchanged information, started texting. I go to his Instagram. There are 3 ex-girlfriends back worth of
Yeah, that's a
photos.
no. That's a no for me.
And even though they're from years ago, right? Like 2015, like the first one, then it was like 2017. And then like as soon as this last year, they broke up at the beginning of the year, it seemed like, because the last picture was like January.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cute. It does not make me want to learn more about you. I already know what I need to see. And it's that you don't have common sense enough to delete these pictures. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, I want to see about your life. And I get that that's part of your life. Like, so on the flip side, I had this one boyfriend who I didn't say anything at first, but he had a ton of pictures of his ex-girlfriend. And I'm like, okay. And then we'd go out and like, we were such a like great couple. I honestly, like we had a great time together, but we'd go out places and we'd meet people and they loved us. They're like, oh, like, let's get what are your guys' Instagrams? And I'd be like, don't you fucking give them your Instagram. Because he was somebody who never posted really either. And I said like, this is embarrassing for me. I don't want them to go to your page and see that you have. And he's like, well, you know, like, and he had posted me too, but like one thing. But I was like, no, it's embarrassing. Like, he's like, well, it's just a part of my past. It's you know, da 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 da. I'm like, let's leave it there.
Yeah, you delete it there. You delete it. That's the whole shtick. Is like you have to put out like. So how did you guys meet?
This person?
Yeah.
So we had known each other for a long time and then like finally and been like social media friends and we actually ended up finally getting together. He actually ran up to me on the beach one day and was like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And then, but I knew he'd been dating that girl because once again, and then like a year later, I went to the restaurant he worked at and he like came and said something. And then the next year he came and he saw me at the gym. And we started dating. So I already knew about the past, but it's like now that you're with me.
And that's cool. Like you have a past. We get it. Like we all got a past, right?
We all have a past.
You're saying a lot by keeping it there. There's some weird attachment, whether or not you realize it or not. Like you have some weird attachment to the fact that those are still lingering.
That's what I said. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay to be cordial. Like there are very few exes that I just like hate or I'm not really a hateful person. There's people who piss me the fuck off and it takes me a minute, but there's very few exes that I'm just like, oh, I hate.
I'm the same way.
But you bet your ass, like you're getting archived. Like nobody's going to see that you were graced with the presence of my princess ass. Like, no, I'm sorry.
I feel ya.
Yeah. So
it's weird.
But I do have, some guy friends too that were like, had the same situation happen and they said, oh my God, like, I had the same thing happen. I started dating someone new and that their ex came and was like, you should probably delete these pictures. That's a homegirl right there. That ex is like, I'll give her some, stars because that's something I'm surprised that he didn't think about it. But then the fact that his new girlfriend didn't say anything either. I don't know. For me, and I think like a lot of my girlfriends too were like, no, you should delete pictures of your ex. It would bother me to like to scroll down my boyfriend's page and see pictures of his past, like him being happy with somebody else. It's like, no, I think that you wouldn't like it either. How's the flip side of that? You see me with my ex-boyfriends freaking taking me to nice dinners, bring me flowers, kissing me. Would that make you feel good?
It's just sending the wrong message to girls you're dating and to future girls that you're going to date. It's like, you have this weird, like I said, this like weird attachment to like these people. And it's like, it's your past. Like our past doesn't define us, right? Like we keep it back there. We might not like, we'll still remember that shit, but like you definitely don't, you're going to like, and I think you're not still seeing that guy, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is like, if that's still lingering there, I bet you issues from whatever they had will come into your relationship at some point because clearly something is there with him, whether if it is with her, but like that's fucking weird.
It's weird. And you can't ignore the signs. And the funniest part is that after we broke up, like to this day, I got actually a notification on Facebook. It was like, oh, a year ago today. And he still has our pictures up.
Yeah, he needs to delete
and guess what? I deleted that shit immediately.
Yeah, I don't have that anywhere on my page. Yeah.
So hey, at least he was consistent because it would have been like quite a burn, right? To have him delete mine and not delete those. So he kept the pictures of me. So I'm like, okay. But so just throwing it out there, and girls, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. But I think to be respectful to new relationships and just to growth, It's okay to have a past, like you said, but like
Mhm.
we have to let go in order to grow. And to me, that's out of sight, out of mind.
Totally.
And yeah, so like you can keep your photos in your camera roll or have them in your archive where they're just for you.
Mhm.
But for your new boo, it is just like disrespectful to keep that up.
It just, like I said, it just sends the wrong, like, it just sends the wrong message. Like, people are perceiving it differently, especially when it's on your grid. Like, that shit is staying there and it'll stay there and it'll just be like, why would you want to put yourself in that position where you're going to have to answer to, like, why are those pictures there?
Exactly.
Like, just save yourself the fucking, like, sometimes I feel like men don't think outside of that. And I'm like, how do you not see that?
Exactly.
Like, but it's okay. That's why we're here.
Excuse me. Yes, that's why we're here. We have to keep our boys in check. But yeah, so I think that for the social media posting thing, if you are in a relationship and you are like feeling secure about it and you want to post, I think that is so like encouraged and
Yeah,
you know, like
agreed.
sweet to post. Like I would if it's somebody that I see a future with, I'm gonna post you. I'm gonna be cool with that. If things don't work out, I will archive you because of, you know, you never know if things come back in the day. At least it's there. You don't have to full on delete it. But to be respectful to yourself, your healing process, and to any new people that come into your life,
Mhm.
it's nice to just kind of let's put that away. Let's tuck it in a folder for a rainy day.
Yeah, and I feel like also if it's weird, like, have you ever had an issue where someone's like, you've posted something and that other person has a really big issue with that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But meaning like what?
Like, meaning like, so I post so say we're dating
Mhm.
and I, you know, I feel like we're ready. Like, I just want to share it already because I'm so excited.
Oh, they had an issue with you
And they-
posting them?
Have you ever had that
Oh
happen?
no, actually no.
So
Most dudes
I'm
like,
asking for a friend.
Oh. No, because honestly, I am such a non-poster that when I do post, I feel like dudes are like ecstatic. They're like, fuck yeah.
Really?
I've never had a dude say, oh, I wish
Okay,
you
that's
didn't post
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a girlfriend. I just want your opinion where she was posting this guy she was dating and he was like, you can't post that. We're like, because they had worked together on a project at one point, and he was like, you can't do that. You might get me like in trouble. And she was like, this is weird. Also, mind you, it had been like their first date that they've been together. So maybe I retract what I'm saying because now I'm figuring it out as I say it out loud. So never mind. I'm an external processor. So
No, but I it's one thing because I also feel like it's weird. Like if guys are weird about you posting them, it's like, why do you have something to hide?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a hiding thing. There's something fucking weird.
So yeah, I think the moral of that story is you should be proud to be posting the person you're with.
Mhm.
If the other person's not or has a problem with it, there's probably something else going on and we need to investigate that.
Yeah, it's sketch.
Yeah, it's all because to me, I'd be like, bitch, you don't even deserve me to post you. I'll
Yeah,
take this back right now.
I remember in the past that actually had happened to me, and I was like, you should be honored that I'm sharing this.
Yeah,
And
you're associated with me.
it didn't go too well. But it didn't work out, so
So yeah, so everything happens for a reason. The things that transpire in our relationships, it's just people showing us their true colors.
Mhm.
And that is, unfortunately, sometimes it's not what we want, but it's what we need to either proceed or move on.
Yeah.
And that is just the way the cookie crumbles. So
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. I totally agree. I could not say that better than, yeah, it's perfect.
yes,
It's a
well,
great way.
you're perfect. So once again, I am so excited that we got to have you on the show today. This conversation was so much fun. I missed you so much.
I know. I haven't seen you in so long. It's really nice to just like catch up. And thanks for having me. It's been super fun.
Thank you so much for coming. So Nicole and I are going to head out and catch up a little bit more for some off-screen fun. But thank you guys so much for joining us today and tuning in and always staying up to date.
Bye.